Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dead Internet Chronicles, where I observe and react to the internet of old and new, examining what I perceive to be a complex collection of chatbot chaos. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to help me grow my channel. Please do be aware that the themes discussed in this video may be dark and unconventional, and my narration is not explicitly an endorsement. That being said, let's get started. And today's video is going to be another thread on X. This is titled, well, it doesn't have a title, so this one is about near-death experiences. The Anon posted, "What are some near-death experiences you've had? Today I went exploring abandoned buildings, and past this door there was two men who looked like they were in the middle of a deal. I slowly back away, and when I was out of sight, I ran down the stairs and outside while hearing them calling me. I don't know if that counts, but other near-death experience I had was when I smoked meth." That took a turn for the worse. I guess smoking meth would be possibly a near-death experience. I don't know. Can you overdose on meth? I don't know if you can or not. I'm sure you could, theoretically, but you never really hear about that when it comes to overdoses, or anything of that nature. So yeah, we're going to get into this thread and read some near-death experiences from these Anons. This Anon says, "I was driving down a country road in my area one night and admittedly was texting and driving. Wasn't wearing my seatbelt and slammed into the back of a car that had stopped in front of me. I slammed into the airbag and blacked out for a few seconds. I sometimes wonder if I actually died that night." Well, if you died that night, you wouldn't be posting on X, so I don't think you died. You are still here with us. And this one has a green text story, and he says, or they say rather, "B18. Drinking with friends at a cabin in winter. Real party house for the weekend. Nobody is sober. It's wild and fun. About 10 of us there. Sitting at the fire outside with a friend talking. Friend goes back inside to talk to the others. I pass out in negative 38 degrees Celsius winter weather. I am wearing a hoodie, jeans, and boots. I awake with tunnel vision, barely able to lift my arms. The fire is completely dead. Brain goes into panic mode. We gotta survive, get inside. Takes me minutes to get out of the lawn chair. Feels like I'm wearing an extra 200 pounds on me. Get to the door, get inside. Everyone is chatting and laughing. They see me. I tell them thanks for blanking forgetting about me. They ask where I was. I tell them and they are like, blank man, we are sorry. I lay in front of the fireplace inside the cabin and warm up for a couple hours. So I am lucky I woke up, or my blank probably would have died because everyone forgot about me." Wow. Those sound like bad friends, to be completely honest. But who am I to judge, because I don't have friends. Someone said, "Did that, so stupid." And taking acid trying to chop down trees with a dull axe. And drama. More like 6. Talking blank. Who? Impossible, that is like South Pole code. I can't speak today. Impossible, that is like South Pole cold. Dude, wake up. Okay, hypothermia. Oh blank. Oh blank. Drama. Is this in the Hamptons by any chance? Snow maybe? Why did this person... I've seen this name pop up quite a bit in the past few days, and they just seem like a big monumental douchebag. Whoever it is, I don't know who it is, of course, but watcher, whoever you are, you seem like a big D-bag. And this one said, "Thanks, TikTok." Someone said to the hypothermia guy, they said, "Glad you're still around, bro." And then this Anon responded to the post about South Pole cold and said, "It was in Alberta, Canada. In the winter, it gets that cold. How you write bothers me." And they also said to another Anon, they said, "Thanks, man. I have been lucky. Have nearly been killed a few extra times. Not my time yet, it seems." And then Watcher responded to this guy and said, "I don't care about your feelings, but I want to know." And then this Anon responded to Watcher and said, "It's not just that, Anon's feelings. You sound like a 12-year-old in a YouTube comment section. Shame on you for posting and get the blank up off my lawn." Rightfully so. This Anon responded to OP and said, "I fell out of my kayak down a waterfall, and it felt like I was dead while tumbling underwater for what felt like 5 minutes. I broke the surface and this girl was screaming for me to grab her kayak. Pretty girl saved my life. I see her face sometimes out of nowhere." Yeah, I would too. Seems like a good person that saved your life. Someone said, "Ibogaine was a near-death experience for me. Wow is all I can say. I don't know what Ibogaine is." It's a psychoactive alkaloid found in plants of the Apocynaceae family. Okay. Never heard of it. Someone said to Watcher, "You are big gay." And then this Anon says, "I had a seizure and stopped breathing on DMT once. I don't remember anything about the trip aside from flying over a vast blackened wasteland that inspired the most intense feelings of fear and despair I've ever experienced. I came back to reality surrounded by paramedics doing CPR. I think I saw hell. I don't do drugs anymore." Probably for the best. And I hid these posts because it said a bad word in it, and I can't do that. Someone said, "I had just gotten my first car. I was speeding along and ended off the road going more than 60 miles an hour, double the speed limit. I had no time to stop. As I turned, I realized I missed my last exit. I left the ground and before me lie 2 trees, one directly in front of my car. I closed my eyes and held them closed. I heard the rustling of the overgrowth. I heard the branches of bushes snapping and nothing. Nothing at all. When I opened my eyes, after at least 5 seconds, I was in the middle of the air, above the highway, sideways. Gravity pulled my car down, and in an odd mental haze, I almost drove off a cliff, but something compelled me to turn my steering wheel. I was stuck sideways on the highway median, absolutely confused as to how I didn't wrap my car around that tree. Eventually, an old man with a white beard stopped and helped me get across. I felt compelled to yell, 'Bless you, sir,' despite being agnostic, atheistic. I'm not quite sure what I was. Even in the moment, I had felt like I died and was in some sort of purgatory. I still remember how it looked, the sun just barely cresting the hills, shining forth glory upon a new day. When I drove by later, there was no evidence a tree had been there. Upon checking Google Maps, the same. There is no evidence that the second tree had ever been there, but I know it was. If there is any event which convinced me quantum immortality exists, it's that morning. The speed I was going should have had me over into the ravine by the time I opened my eyes. Had I not been wrapped around the tree, of course. Yet upon opening my eyes, I had barely moved forward, and I know my eyes were closed an uncomfortable amount of time. That's an interesting experience, and I'm really glad this Anon shared it, because things like this do creep me out quite a bit. Quantum immortality. I haven't done a whole lot of research on it, but quantum immortality is a theoretical concept that suggests that a person's consciousness could continue to exist in a parallel universe after they die in the current one. And that's kind of what the other Anon, the first Anon, described. That's interesting. A friend of a friend from high school died this way. Was out partying and called it quits for the night. He went back out to the car to turn the lights off after we all came back inside. He made it to the front door, couldn't get it open, and passed out right there. The first person to leave found him dead there in the morning. Hypothermia got him. Another story that happened to me in my late teens. On a decent-sized yacht that belonged to my rich girlfriend's parents, we were tied up at a mooring in the harbor, just hanging out and talking about life. I ended up getting moderately drunk that night and went to bed. I got up to take a piss off the swim platform while looking at the moon and fell off. You know that feeling when you're so drunk you feel like you're going to fall off the surface of the earth? Had that while I was clawing around in this water sinking to the bottom of the bay. I was just lost into the abyss of it all. I don't think a human being is capable of sinking that fast, but I remember crashing face first into the sandy bottom. I remember trying to breathe water. I remember how peaceful it felt after a little while. I could hear my heart beating like a drum. I have no idea how I survived this. It was just me and girlfriend, and she didn't even know I was gone. She didn't save me. She was just as confused as I was about it all. I was wet and muddy and exhausted, and my lungs felt like they were on fire. I believe this was one of those quantum death type situations. I believe I died at the bottom of that harbor. Whoa. We're getting deep here. Literally. Someone said, "Holy blank, dude. Yeah, I honestly think that counts. I'd post mine, but it's a whole thread. I think it was the one with a girl on an empty highway. I hope it's still up." And then someone said, "Yeah, apparently it's not anymore. Blanking Jannies can't let a good thread last. If you guys ask me, I can post an Imager link, though." And this person had an arrow pointing up and said, "Once a U before posting the story. Not aware archives exist. Blame Jannies for no one replying to his thread. Actual Reddit spacing. Please nobody blanking ask him, I'm begging." And the next person said, "Please do post your experience. Such things are appreciated." So this person lost. Sorry, Anon. And then the Anon said, "Gladly. It's too long for me to type in this thread, so I'll have to use Imager. I'm sorry. Feel free to share it with whomever you wish." So let's open it up and see what this is about. Well, that didn't come to anything. This just went straight to the front page of Imager. Looks like it got deleted somehow. And there was some casual racism in that post, so we disregarded that. The Anon said, "Whole thing is too large. Gonna have to do it piecemeal. Try to hear with me." Alright, so let's open this up and see what's going on here. Oh, we can't read that. That's messed up completely. Let's see if this one's any better. No, we can't read that. And this one's probably the same. And they said, "Well, the resolution sucks and I apologize. Guess only those who genuinely love their ex stories are going to read it, which in a way is a good thing. Take care, Anons." And then this Anon, sharing another car crash story, said, "My worst was a car crash. We were going 100 miles an hour and got ran off the road. To this day, I think I'm dead. When you see where we crashed, survival literally wasn't possible. We would have had to no-clip through objects. We shouldn't be here." And then someone shared the archive link. Use 4plebs next time. Thanks for sharing. So, let's open this thread on 4plebs. And it's titled, "Finally, a Paranormal Thread." Alright, well, I didn't expect it to happen like this, but here we are. I keep my promises. All my life, I've been probably the least interested in any of this paranormal stuff. I hated haunted houses, hate scary movies, and could never tolerate a single hike for even a second. I'm also the guy a lot of you wouldn't like one. But if you met me, I've been around the block in high school. Been with some women here and there, did some things, life was good. Not moral, but good. Then I spent a few years doing basically nothing until I finally decided to enroll in university. Naturally, parents are excited about the idea, my mom especially. Singing about all those wonderful careers out there and opportunities and etc., etc. Love her for that. Sometimes I'm excited too, of course, but for the wrong reasons. Second, I'm on campus, I'm on the hunt for women. Any ones I can get my hands on, and I was awful about it too. I talked to 9s out of 10s, 3 out of 10s, chicks with boyfriends, health issues, basically anyone really. Then I meet her. Textbook definition of a desperate blank, willing to do literally anything I asked her. She was freaky. So we texted and agreed to meet up at a cafe. Good ways away from the campus, which I liked. I hope none of my friends would see this, but here's when things finally start to get weird. I wait for her, she gets here, we talk, and then straight to her place. But just as I walk outside, I see the strangest blinking thing come straight towards me from the highway. It's one of those Google Maps cars with its stupid giant camera. Thing drives right up to my face. Blanking blank, everyone and their grandma is going to know about this, but I continue the date anyway. Let's see how long this is real quick. God, this is a long story. Yeah, I'm not going to read all this. That's going to be something that you can read on your own, because I really don't want to read all this. He seems like a douchebag anyway. But I will link to the thread in the description down below if you want to read it yourself. But that just seems like a whole lot of nonsense. So on that note, we are going to end the video today. But I'm curious to hear about your near-death experiences and your thoughts on quantum immortality. Have you had a near-death experience? Please let me know in the comments down below, and we'll have a good conversation about it. But as always, I appreciate your viewership. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.